Hi, everyone. Chris Johnson with the Money Morning here today to talk about one of the hottest AI discovery stocks out there, SoundHound. Yep, sounds a little funny. The ticker symbol is SOUN. I'm going to talk about why this discovery AI stock should be considered for your portfolio if you're an aggressive investor looking in the AI space. I'll explain exactly what an AI discovery stock is, the prices, as well as the chart that I'm looking at on SoundHound, and what my expectations are, as well as the rest of the market. Let's take 5 to 10 minutes and jump into this AI mover. Let's go. Okay, so SoundHound has exploded onto the AI scene during 2024. Year-to-date, shares are trading up more than 250% and have been much higher. They went from about $2 up to $10 when we look at where this stock is going in 2024 alone. Part of that is fueled by a purchase by NVIDIA that was made last year, made public by the Wall Street Journal in early January. They own about 3% or a little less than 3% of SoundHound's shares. But the fact that NVIDIA wants into this AI stock obviously speaks volume. Let's take a second before we get to the charts and the targets and talk about who or what SoundHound is. It's an AI company. They've actually focused on speech recognition, in the past. More specifically, they've worked with the auto industry in developing and implementing speech recognition, that type of thing, into the vehicles that we're driving. With the expansion of AI, they have now started working with companies to put together AI and speech-activated menu ordering systems. If you've gone through a Jersey Mike's or maybe a White Castle and use one of those automated systems to place your order, you probably used a SoundHound product. That's where they're going. So it's not just about the automobile technology, some personal electronics as well, but now they're getting into implementing that AI and speech recognition into the quick service or fast food service industry. Now, I think it's really interesting if you look back to 2013 and what NVIDIA was doing, and one of the reasons that NVIDIA may have a little more interest in SoundHound, they were putting together heads-up displays. And that's before Bitcoin, that's before their graphic cards really took over, and that's obviously before AI. So at one point, NVIDIA was an AI discovery just like SoundHound is. I think it's really interesting, and obviously it gets the market moving when NVIDIA gets involved. Now, I talk about AI discovery stocks a lot. I just want to go through this very quickly so you'll understand why this will drive the price higher. Now, an AI discovery stock is not one that has just discovered AI, but instead, it's a newly formed or transitioned company that is dealing with the new AI technology. When you think about it, the technology is built by NVIDIA, AMD, and a few others. The chips are the technology there. The service-based companies are going to be the ones that come in next round and make all of the money. Remember, our economy, the United States economy, is over 75% service-based. So the next round of money to be made off of artificial intelligence is going to have to do with taking that technology and applying it to service industries. That's exactly what SoundHound is doing. Now, a lot of these AI discovery companies, they're not going to have fundamental proof. And when I say that, I'm talking about earnings, even the products that they're developing. They're going to be coming out with newer products. So the product history and the earnings are going to be a little light. In many cases, you are obviously a speculator. And let's keep that clear. You are speculating in the products that these companies are developing and the success, just like NVIDIA is speculated with SoundHound. A result of that discovery phase is that the stocks are going to be lightly covered by Wall Street. So when you go and look to see how many analysts are covering it or what their target price is, they're not going to have much information out there. That's an opportunity for you and I. And as I said, NVIDIA was an AI discovery stock in less than a decade ago. So keep that in mind. Here's what it looks like right now, the analyst recommendations and the number of analysts covering SoundHound. So you've got a total of 6 analysts that have 92% buys on the stock and 8 holds. Typically, I'd say I don't like this 92% buys because it represents a crowded trade, but right now with only 6 analysts weighing in on their coverage of the stock, it's got a lot of discovering to be done. And whenever those analysts start to come in and add it to their buy recommendations, that puts more money into the stock. Whenever they raise their target prices, more money coming into the stock. So the 92% and 8% don't bother me right now. Here is the opportunity for discovery. This is NVIDIA's analysts, the total analysts covering the stock. You're right around 50. And again, right here you are with 6 analysts. So you've got a difference of 44 analysts between the two. It's not going to get as popular as NVIDIA, certainly not very quickly. But if this number goes from 6 to 12, you've doubled the coverage and more money coming into the stock. So that's what I mean by a discovery stock. It's lightly covered, low targets. Now, the target price right now, the average target price is $7.30 on SoundHound. That is due to an upgrade that just happened last week. So we're going to see that price go above 10. I thought this chart would be interesting before we jump into the price. This is the price of SoundHound against NVIDIA. So you're actually comparing the performance one against the other. You can see back in 2023, SoundHound was outperforming NVIDIA. There is the line that is 1, so a 1-to-1 performance. And it wasn't until July of last year that NVIDIA overtook SoundHound in terms of that performance. And as we look, we've seen that take off again. You've got SoundHound that is overtaking performance-wise NVIDIA shares. Again, up almost 300% year to date. Let's talk about the price, though, and where I see NVIDIA going here. SoundHound, a little faux pas, SoundHound heading over the next couple of weeks and the next couple of months. So here's your daily price chart. You see that $10 level was breached. That's a psychological level that's very important. As a stock tends to come out of this sub $10 level, the first couple of times that it hits $10, you'll see some selling pressure. That is usually people taking profits. And again, a stock that is up 300% year to date is going to see profit taking. You also have a miss on the earnings here. The company missed by 1 cent. They lost 7 cents per share versus expectations of 6 cents per share. They did guide revenue and earnings in line for the next quarter. And that's why we see the stock kind of overcoming that miss. At the same time, it was just a penny miss, and the company saw 80% year-over-year growth in revenue driving the bottom line here. So investors obviously taking a look at how this company is emerging and likely to become profitable during 2024. So looking at the price chart, we've got that $10 as resistance. Here's your 20-day moving average. I always look at it, and I call it the trader's trend line. That sits at $6 right now. Keep in mind, this is a volatile stock. If I see more profit taking out of the stock, I'm going to look at that $6 as a level that I'd like to add to my position. And I'm going to use this as an opportunity to let you know I do own shares of SoundHound, so I look at the chart and the fundamentals as an investor, not just an analyst. So that $6 leads me to a position where I would tend to add to my stock position, my holdings of the stock. And as it breaks out of 10, I'm going to let that continue to fuel. And again, you're going to get more analysts that are going to come in after we hit that above $10 level and start to recommend that you own the shares. So where do I see the stock going over the next 3-6 months or so? First off, the target is going to be about $12.50 for Wall Street. You're going to see some of those analysts start to say $12.50 is they're going to be conservative. My target goes up to a $15 level during 2024 for SoundHound. And I think after an earnings beat next quarter, you could see the shares surpass that. Think about what NVIDIA has done a couple of these earnings seasons, including the last, where I was saying, hey, I'm looking for an opportunity to buy it on the dip. The stock did not look back and instead ripped higher. You could see the same thing from SoundHound. So let me wrap it up for you here real quickly with the summary. SoundHound is one of those stocks that I consider an AI discovery stock. Not discovery because they're just discovering the technology, but instead because Wall Street is just now discovering it as an AI leader. IBM was another one of those AI discovery stocks just about a year ago when they were pivoting into the AI space. Keep that in mind. It's been an outperformer. So SoundHound is one of those AI discovery stocks. We saw an earnings miss last quarter, and it gave the opportunity to sell a little bit. And then as soon as we hit $10, just about a few days after, a week ago, we actually saw the stock pull back and some profit taking. Keep in mind, the company is part of NVIDIA's conference that's going on this week. So Look forward to some headlines from those presentations, as well as maybe an update or two about what they expect for performance. Now, I see the $10 level being resistance as we head towards it again. I'd be a buyer at $6. $8 will give a little bit of support too, which is right where the stock is trading now. But after we break through that $10 level, I think $12.50 will be your next very quick move of the stock, and that's a 25% increase. A little bit of resistance there, and then onward to $15. Keep in mind, you're going to have a crowd of people that are going to want to buy this stock ahead of their next earnings report. There you have it. A nice look at SoundHound, one of my favorite AI discovery stocks, the prices I like as well as Wall Street. Hope this information helps you. Make sure you like and support the channel so we can bring you more information, more stock breakdowns just like this. Till next time, I'm Chris Johnson, wishing you the best trading success.